Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the shop here at BareRose Garage. Well, it's still really cold out there. Like I said, this fifth winter is really set us hard, and I spent all day yesterday cleaning up all the limbs that fell down. But I had time to come back in here in the shop and get a little bit done. Today, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Ford's big block Ford heads. There's a lot of, there's a lot of stuff out there on these things, and a big shout out to Terry Grover. If you guys want to learn how to make these heads into something, go check him out. He's got all kinds of tips and tricks on how to home port these things to get a lot out of them. But in the meantime here, I'm just going to go over some of the mistakes. Let's just call them that. We'll just call it what it is. The mistakes of the big block Ford heads. Now, you heard me talk on my other videos, my Y block videos. I really like the Y block because, as I said in there, that's when Ford had exhaust figured out. After that, I don't know why they didn't stay with that same exhaust side design. Now, if you go back and watch your Uncle Tony's old videos, there's one on there, I forget the name of it. I'll try to find it, put a link somewhere up here if I can find it. He's got a lot of videos. Anyway, he takes a Chrysler head, I think it's a slant 6, but it's pretty much standard across the board for Chrysler. And he takes a torch and sticks it up inside the exhaust valve on a Chrysler and hits that torch, and you see the flame just shoot straight out. Like, no restriction. That's the secret to Chrysler performance right there. I mean, they breathe like no tomorrow on the exhaust side. Same thing on those Y block heads. You take the exhaust out of them and stick a torch in there, you'll get about the same results because they just come straight up off the valve and exit. They get that exhaust out of there as quick as they can. Why they changed, I don't know. But on these big blocks, they really, let's just call it what it is. They really messed up on these 429, 460 heads. On the exhaust side here, on the exhaust port, where it comes up out of the valve here, on the exhaust port, not the accident, but where it comes up, there's a definite ridge right there. Where the exhaust comes up, has to make a 90, and you see there's actually a pocket right there that I can feel where it's kind of a cave where it comes up, rolls around, and then comes back out, makes the exhaust do another hard 90 out of here into the header, and then come down. It's just a lot of hard angles trying to get that exhaust out of there. And there's no way you can correct it. Because if you look on it here, this is a head bolt. Right here. Yeah, this is an easier one. You can see the head bolt boss in there. And you can actually feel it right there. There's not enough material here to whittle away to get it to flow better. And up here on top, it's only that thin, that thick. It's that thin right up on top here. So there's no way that you can really get in there to make this exhaust breathe better. I don't know why they did that. All they had to do is move that up and over and up, and they would have obtained the same thing that they had on that Y block, making these optimum. I mean, they would have had so much more power, especially when you get over here. Oh boy, and these things are heavy. And you look at the intake side on these things. Now this is just a stock, I think this is a 79. So this is a smogger head. You look inside here on the intake side, and it's nice. It's actually not bad at all. I run my fingers in there. There's very little casting, and if you can look down inside of them, they come right in and actually exit or enter, this is the intake, right good on the valve. I mean, well, in stock terms, you know. Again, if you want to make these good, really good, go check Terry out. He'll tell you how to port these out, how to clean them up to really improve your flow. But really, they flow pretty good on the intake side, bone stock. And again, I'm talking just, you know, stock numbers to make them run, not performance. I'm, you know, just make it run stuff. They're not bad on the intake, but on the exhaust, boy, you can tell they really crap the bed. On the chamber side, they're not bad, not bad at all for what, again, for what they are. These are by no means performance heads. These are just stock daily driver kind of heads. But they're kind of a canted valve. They're not a total open chamber, you can see. Actually not bad heads. They're just extremely heavy. And as I said, you can see there on the exhaust side, they just blew it. There's no easier way to say it than they lost it all right here. Just, they can't breathe, they can't exit enough exhaust. And in this little, I don't know why that cave is there, but that cave right there holds the exhaust in there. It kind of makes a pocket. Like I said, it goes up like this. It's the craziest thing you ever seen. The exhaust comes up in there and it tunnels around in there while the other gas is coming out. You know, the exhaust gas is coming out, and it just creates a swirl pocket right there that holds heat. So you've heard that these 460s run hot. Well, that's part of the reason they run hot. That exhaust is actually trapped right here. It can't get out, you know, in time. So it transfers all that heat into the head, which puts more stress on your cooling system. Just a totally bad design. Now, if you want to go all out and really step up these heads, I believe it's Dart and AFR make a version of these that actually they put a small block or big block Chevy exhaust ports on them. And what they did is they moved this way up and over, just like Ford should have done. But those heads are expensive, way expensive. But if you can get a set of them, and they're really light, they're all aluminum. This head right here, I ain't got a scale right handy, but they're probably pretty close to 50 pounds a piece, I would imagine. 45, 50 pounds a piece. So you can see you can drop a whole bunch of weight by going with the aluminum. But if you do, and you can afford it, try to get the ones that are the big block Chevy style, that are moved over and up more, to get rid of that exhaust. Because these heads, all of them, all of Ford's big block heads do that. They're just, and there's not enough material in there to actually, like I said, it's only that thick to actually do much with them. Anyway, that's my little tidbit on the big block Ford mistakes. Let's just call them what they are. They're mistakes. For daily drivers, you know, you're not really concerned too much about that. That's when you're jumping into the performance side of it, that you really want to get a lot out of it. As far as cleaning those ports up and trying to get rid of that cave that's inside of there that holds heat and causes these things to run a little warm, you could get in there and clean them up, but you know, it's all in what you want to do with them. Me, I'm just gonna run what I got because they run. So that's what I'm looking for. A runner, not a racer, a runner. So this engine right here that I'm gonna be putting into it is gonna just be the stock heads. You know, my thing about building a car, get it running first, drive it, have some fun with it, and then you start jumping into making it better. Or better yet, you get two of them that are almost the exact same thing. That way when your temptation takes over to actually get in there and make some hot rod and good go fast parts, well, you know that's going to take you some time and some money. But you can have one just like it that you're still driving. It kind of keeps you going on it and kind of keeps the adrenaline going. And then as the fancy parts and expensive stuff comes in, or the time-consuming stuff, you know, you can throw that on the hot rod, the go-fast one, while you still have a driver one. Anyway, that's my 2 bits on it. Again, as soon as the weather breaks, I'll drag that motor out, degrease it, pressure wash it off, get it painted, regasketed, and stuffed in the hole. That's the plan for next week. Meantime, or this week now, meantime, get out there, keep that metal hot.